In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a card using the Faux Patina technique. Now, patina is a finish that comes onto something through age. So a great example is copper. When it oxidizes, turns green. We're going to try and get that same look by making something look kind of aged over time with a little bit of an embossed finish over this card. Let me show you how to make it. You want to take an embossing folder and you're going to take and ink it up. I'm going to use River Rock, and we're just going to ink it up using a direct to embossing folder. So just ink right up. You don't want to rub, you simply want to press up and down until you get this inked up. You don't have to work quickly because it's not going to dry very fast because we have used the ink on plastic. Then you want to close it up. The way you know that you've done it right, you've got your Stampin' Up! Logo on the front, and when you look at it you can see that the parts that are going to be pressed up will remain white, which is exactly the look that we want. Run this through your embossing folder. When you're done to clean the folder, you can just run it under some running water or use a wet paper towel to clean it. It comes clean very easily. Here's a piece that I've already done. Now, some of the ink may get onto the white pieces, and that's perfectly okay because we are going to cover up most of this card. So don't worry about it if it's not exactly white on the top. It's going to work just fine for us. The next color I'm going to use here is Baja Breeze, and I have a sponge, so I'm just going to sponge Baja Breeze ink over top of it. When I'm doing this, I want to make contact with my paper and rub, so I'm not doing a tapping motion, I am doing a rubbing motion. I also want to remember to get some ink onto the pieces in between, so rub ink onto the bottom of the paper as well, not just hitting the white parts, but getting all of it. And I'm going to remember to work under my fingers. I'm not covering the whole thing up. I don't want to cover all the white pieces. I just wanted to add some blue to this. And I think I'm going to stop there and go on to my next color, which is Wild Wasabi. And I'm going to do the exact same thing with the Wild Wasabi ink. So I'm going to rub some color on, getting deep into the bottom of the paper. And again, not worrying about getting all the ink covered up. We're just kind of going to do some blending of the colors now. So leave some of the blue showing. It's even okay to have a little bit of the white showing. Once I've done that, I'm going to go to my fourth and final color, the third one that we've sponged on, and this is the chocolate chip. So again, grab it. You might want to work with a little bit of a lighter touch here because the chocolate chip is that much darker. And again, rubbing it on, covering up some of the previous ink, getting deep into the bottom of the paper, but again, leaving some of the blue and some of the green to show through. And once I've done that, again, remember to work under my fingers. I'm going to stop there and go on to the embossing step now. Because these inks are going to remain wet for a while, and we don't want our embossing powder to stick to where the inks are wet, I'm just going to take and tap my embossing buddy over it to dry those inks. So once I've done that, you can tap the excess off if you want to. I'm going to use a Versamark and go over the top of the card. I don't want to do the entire top of the card. Again, we're just adding Versamark in a few of the areas so the powder will stick and still show those other colors coming through. You don't want to go too deep. At this point, you want to just stay on the tops that were previously white so that the embossing powder will stick to those and not go deep into the card. So just rub it on, making sure that you're not going too deep, you're just staying carefully over the top. And again, not complete coverage. You want to leave some areas undone. So I'm just going to tap this on. It's okay to use a light touch because if you need to add more later, you can. So you can always go ahead and emboss this. If you still want more powder, repeat these steps and go ahead again. Just going to add a little bit of embossing powder over the top. Just work that over the top surface here, and then just tap off the excess. Now I made a bit of a mess there, so let me just clean this up quickly and put that excess powder back. Go ahead now and heat emboss the gold powder. One thing I like to do when I'm done is just move the paper around so I can check it in and out of different shadows to make sure that all the powder is melted. It all should be shiny. You don't want any of it that's still matte. Here's my finished card. I added layers of cardstock under my Faux Patina piece, added a greeting, also some ribbon with a button underneath it. Hope you enjoyed learning how to make the Faux Patina technique. Thanks for watching.